enjoying the show? You can help others find it and enjoy it too by giving us a 5-star rating or review. If you feel like reaching out to us with a question or comment, you can send us an email at mywifetherd@gmail.com. And don't forget to visit our website at mywifethedietitian.com, as well as our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Enjoy the show. It's Rob and Sandra from My Wife the Dietitian, and this is Nutrition Nuggets.
Hey, Rob.
Hey, Sandra.
Hey, remember we talked about the quiz, the Elevate Your Nutrition quiz 2
I'm
days
still
ago?
reeling from that quiz and celebrating my win, my big win on the quiz.
Big win. Well, did you have any orange vegetables in the last 2 days since we did that? Because remember...
That's all I've been eating, honey.
Oh, that's why you're turning orange.
Breakfast, lunch, and dinner, because I know the importance of orange.
Well, we are in pumpkin season right now. What
we
can
are.
I squash
Had a pumpkin sandwich today. It was delicious.
You don't eat pumpkin.
I even carved it out a little bit to make it more fun. No, I'm joking. But yeah, that'd be kind of, I don't know about a pumpkin sandwich. Although pumpkin pie is really good. I don't think we had any pumpkin pie this year.
Yeah, we did.
Did we?
On Thanksgiving, we did.
I missed that.
Yeah.
I think I had the other one.
The apple pie.
I needed to go back for round 2.
That's right.
Dang, yeah.
Well, the canned pumpkin is like super popular. And sometimes the grocery stores run out of it around Thanksgiving.
Yeah. They do.
Because people use it in soups and sauces, baking, oatmeal, because it rocks. Isn't
it kind of like the texture isn't the same as what you get out of a pumpkin, though? Isn't it kind of like solid? Kind of like a...
Well, it's a squash, right? So, when you have
I'm thinking
cubed
like
squash.
Mashed potato kind of consistency.
Yeah.
Is that what...
Like canned pumpkin, yeah.
But how do they get... Because it's all stringy. Like when you carve a pumpkin and you're digging out the guts, isn't it all stringy?
Well, it's similar to squash where, if you make cubed squash and then you bake it and like you roast it or cook it, then you can mash it.
Yeah, I guess that's just the process. Are those my glasses you're wearing, by the way? They are. That's why I keep losing them, because you keep taking them.
You're so funny.
I'm like, hey, those look familiar.
So did you know that pumpkin is a great substitute for oil or butter and other ingredients used in baking? Just like applesauce. You can use applesauce in place of oil in some baking.
I haven't heard of either one of those ever.
Really?
Really?
Oh, I've never used pumpkin, but I've used applesauce.
I think I've heard applesauce is a substitute for something. Maybe it was oil, but I don't know. I don't read recipes, so it doesn't surprise me that I don't know that. But
and you
pumpkin,
don't bake much either.
Well, that's why I don't bake, because I don't like recipes. So but that's interesting, really. Pumpkin. Is it got its own oils in it or something?
It's just the texture. It kind of simulates the function that oil has in baking. That moistness and the emulsification.
That's really interesting.
Yeah.
I'm really fascinated by the sort of the chemistry of food. There's always things that you say and like interactions with certain things, and one thing will cause something else to happen or not happen. And I'm always like, wow, that's so cool. Like, it's just something I'm not familiar with. So I find it fascinating when I hear those things.
Yeah.
And here we are again.
Oh, totally. It's so interesting. And, we do want more people. I want to guarantee the increased consumption of orange foods this week with this Nutrition Nuggets.
All right.
Because it is so important. And do you remember why it's important, Rob?
Immune health?
Yes, because of the
orangeness. Gosh. I don't remember everything about it. Immune, it's good because... because of beta-carotene. Is that what... Sorry. I knew because it had beta-carotene.
That's a big part of it. Yeah, absolutely.
Orange stuff has beta-carotene.
It's a precursor to vitamin A.
Yeah, it's good for your immunity, for your skin health, for your eyes, all those things.
That's right. And heart health. And it's got potassium.
Yeah.
It's all good.
It's a winner.
It's a winner all around. So how can we get more orange vegetables and fruits? Like, let's talk about 11.
Okay.
So we already talked a little bit about pumpkin.
Pumpkin, which is in the squash family.
Yeah.
And there's other versions of squash that are we just going to call it all squash? Or
Well, actually, no, it's separated out. But butternut squash
I do.
is the most underrated food ever.
Really?
Yeah,
I
it's
love
super delicious.
What's the one that you make spaghetti squash, like or is that just any squash and
That's
it's how
spaghetti squash.
Oh, it is. It's called spaghetti squash.
It is. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought
a different one.
It was. It had a different texture and it looked like spaghetti.
Yeah, that's another cool one, right? Because you use the fork and then you can shred it like noodles. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
Put tomato sauce and Parmesan.
Shred that squash.
Yeah, that's a good one. That's different than butternut.
Yeah, I guess butternut is more like mashed potatoes, isn't it?
Yeah,
more
it's
of that.
super creamy. Like if like it just tastes so, it's got a really nice texture.
Mm-hmm. I'm big on texture, so yeah, I like the variety with different foods.
And actually, it's a lot similar to sweet potato texture, the butternut squash.
Oh yeah, I guess it would be right.
Mm-hmm.
Like potato,
And that's actually the next one.
sweet potato.
Yeah, sweet potato and yam. You know what? Actually, I just want to go back to the squash because you can buy frozen cubed butternut squash.
Right, I've seen that in our freezer.
Yeah, it's awesome because then you can put them in soups and stews and stir fries.
Is that what you usually do? I've never used it, to be honest, but is that what you do? You throw it into stir fries and stuff? Or not stir fries, but you probably use it in soup and all that stuff you make in the big pot, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of people are turned off of squash because it's hard to cut. It's very tough to cut, like it's difficult.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I mean, you can use a good knife, like not a dull knife, like a really good knife and a mallet, and use it's like a hammer.
Yeah, that sounds safe.
Well, you put it on a wet towel on the counter so
Yeah.
it doesn't slip around and slip around.
Yeah, I don't think I'd be doing that, to be honest.
Or you can buy frozen
That's
cubed squash.
I like my fingers.
That's the other way too. And when you're looking in the store in the produce section, you want to find one that's dense for its size and the rind is smooth
Okay.
and like no spots. It should be pretty uniformly tan on the outside.
Right.
And then it's between September and November is the best seasons, but really you can there's winter squash, different types of squash.
I wonder if squash, because we have listeners all over the world, so I wonder if the squash in, say, Australia is going to be the same rules apply. I don't know. I guess people in Australia have to do the math and figure that out.
I want to hear from the people in Australia.
Yeah, you guys will have to phone us and tell us.
Yeah.
Phone us. Who uses a phone anymore? You have to text us or write on our wall or however it works these days.
We're going to get a new app, Hello Audio, I think, that will be able to, people could send a little voice message to our
We're going to have the
email.
My Wife the Dietitian chat room.
Yeah.
Fun.
Exactly.
You guys are bored late at night. We can all sit and chat.
Yeah, well, I want
Chat
to
about
hear. I want to
squash.
hear more from the listeners, and I want to hear the questions because we have gotten some amazing questions, and I love hearing from people. So please keep them coming.
Exactly.
So the other cool thing about squash, like if you buy or like if you actually have the squash from the produce section, you can leave it in cold storage for 3 months and it's fine to use.
Yeah, that's nice about that.
Yeah, it's awesome. Yeah, and then the spices that go nicely with squash are nutmeg or cinnamon, ginger, or lemon zest.
Lemon zest.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Had that. Brown sugar kind of works sometimes too, right?
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, that's delicious.
Yeah, a little butter and brown sugar.
I'm
Never
thinking,
go wrong with that.
do you remember when we used to get the HelloFresh meals?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of them came with either lemon or lime to squeeze at the end of the meal, like over.
You just squeeze it over your lips after you're finished eating and it leaves a nice aftertaste.
No, over the food right before you serve it.
Oh, yeah, well, that makes more sense. Kind of like
You're
a Corona, right? Having a little slice of whatever, lime, lemon, whatever you got on hand.
That's right.
Makes all the difference.
That's funny. You're funny.
No, you're funny.
Okay, next one. Sweet potato or yam. You like sweet potato?
I like sweet potato.
They're
I do.
so good.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, you can make chicken and sweet potato stir fry with sweet potatoes and a little bit of orange juice, cornstarch, and sriracha
A little
and
spice.
chicken. Yeah,
That sounds
yummy. Yeah. Yeah. Again, high in potassium, beta carotene. So good. I mean, it's just so good for our immune system and our skin to keep our skin glowing. It's a glow food.
It is.
So good.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. And then the real basic beta carotene rich food that most people eat, most people have in their fridge, and a lot of people use them for their lunches and eat them raw.
That'd be carrots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Carrot salad, coleslaw, cooked raw, frozen.
I had some carrots in my lunch today. We went out for lunch today, which is unusual for us, but it was the right time and we were out and available. And I had it was like a rice bowl, I guess, with a bunch of stuff in it, but it had like sliced carrots, kind of like you'd slice like a long sort of thin, like a shaving almost. And it was really good. I mean, because you usually get chunks of carrot and they're kind of crunchy, but this was a lot easier to eat. And I really liked how it was cut. Yeah. Like, I'm going to start using carrots like that because that's a lot nicer to eat. It's like a sliver.
No, okay, so not like if we use the peeler, would that work?
No, I think it'd be too thin.
Okay.
It was like a slice, like a decent slice, but it was long.
So was it a food processor, do you think, or was it
probably a food processor?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
So it was like, oh yeah, that was so good. I had a taste of your prawn
curry, something or other.
Oh,
yeah, it was tasty.
Delicious. And I love the taco salad bowl that I got.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, you had the rest of it.
I got to finish it.
Yeah. All right. And carrots are good in the fridge for about 3 weeks. They stay in the fridge for a while.
Yep.
I like having you know what? The kind that you buy in the store with the green tops are actually the freshest and kind of the best. But however, you can eat carrots. So if you like the kind that are already cut in the veggie tray, that's fine too. However, the kids like them or you like them, just eat them.
The baby, like, do you mean versus like the baby carrots or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah. I find those don't last quite as long. They get kind of slimy after a while.
Yeah.
I tend to buy the smaller bag of them because I know that the big bag, we won't get through it before they get all yucky.
That's a good idea so that you're not like just throwing them away. Good call. You know, I didn't mention, but this was on the list, orange cauliflower.
Never heard of it.
Yeah, you can buy cauliflower that's orange.
Really?
And it's like loaded with beta carotene.
What it must be like combined with a carrot or some kind of, or is that a natural?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
It's a natural thing.
Yeah. And the other one is Swiss chard.
Do they make purple cauliflower?
Yes.
Okay, I think I've seen that.
Yeah.
Orange, I've never seen. Huh.
Yeah, so it actually has a higher level of beta carotene. And the Swiss chard, you know, the ones that we got in the food box recently, and it's got like the purple stalk and the green stalk, the white stalk, and the orange stalk.
Okay, yeah.
So that's another orange to get in.
There you go. So many options.
I know. That's the thing, right? Like if there's more variety and more options, then it's easier to get those beta carotene rich foods in your day most days of the week. And you mentioned one last time that we talked about when I quizzed you about 5 options. Do you remember the 5?
I said oranges, probably sweet potatoes. I said like orange peppers.
That's the one.
I knew that was the one you're after. Yeah.
He said carrots, squash, pumpkin, sweet potato, and I wrote it down.
Apricots, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Because you gave me that one. That was a freebie, but.
But the orange peppers.
Orange peppers, yeah. Because sometimes, I like them. They're very sweet.
Yeah, they're really good. And they can be refrigerated for about 2 weeks before they start getting off and getting soggy.
They start going off. They're off on their own.
Where
did that orange pepper go? It's gone off. Didn't
it's showing the other soggy vegetables in heaven.
In heaven.
Oh, you know what's so funny today? Did I tell you when I went
don't know, maybe.
for the walk with the dog? Oh, this is so weird, random. The place we parked, someone had dumped, like it's so bizarre. They had dumped broccoli and cauliflower, like a huge bag of it, and it was on the ground. And I grabbed it for the chickens. because our chickens love, and I'm not gonna eat someone's dumped cauliflower and broccoli. I don't know why anyone would dump such, like, it was still fresh.
And it was by the mailbox or something, you said.
That was so weird.
But it sort of wasn't by the mailbox.
Yeah, no, it was.
Do you think it was dumped for someone with the intention that someone might pick it up for their chickens? Or
I don't.
that
they were
just
bizarre.
Throwing it under their hedge, or
because that was kind of weird. But I'm really happy because the chickens are loving it.
Yeah, they're happy chickens.
They were like, thanks, and they give us nice eggs when they have cruciferous vegetables like that, and cabbage.
Yes,
they love it. It's awesome. All right, so the peak season for orange peppers is July to December.
Oh, that late, hey?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, cool.
And super high in vitamin C.
Oh, yeah.
You know
sure.
that, eh? Peppers are really,
peppers.
Yeah.
Yeah,
they're really good. Yeah. Okay. So we're almost done here. Apricot you mentioned, those are awesome, and dried apricots are so good. They're high in iron and beta-carotene, vitamin C. They're a good source of fiber, so really good for if people are not, they don't like prunes, for instance, or don't like other dried fruits. Apricots are another option for fiber, soluble fiber, to help with bowel movements and to prevent constipation.
Some of those bigger dried fruits, part of my breakfast, as you guys know, because I talk about it all the time, but I put raisins in because I like the soft, chewy aspects. So some of the bigger dried fruits, like apricots, you can cut them into, like, you can quarter them so that they're smaller. They're not as like this big chunky thing, you know, like you can cut them down if you want to add them to your yogurt and granola or your oatmeal in the morning or whatever. It's just makes them a little bit more tolerable and less in your face.
Totally. They're easier to chew, and yeah, good idea. And they're great for kids because they're so loaded with nutrition, and they're so sweet. And that's the thing with all of the orange vegetables and fruits, they tend to be sweeter than the greens. Even though we know that leafy greens are really important every day, kids will definitely eat the orange ones a bit more readily because they're so sweet, naturally sweet.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
Yeah, it's a big part of it. Cantaloupe.
Oh, the fruits, orange fruits. Yeah, cantaloupe's tasty.
They are good, aren't they? Yeah, and you don't want, like, so May to September, are there better kind of?
Yeah, they get a little funky when they get a little slimy too when they're not quite right. But a good cantaloupe is, and same with that. I mean, you can cut those into smaller pieces so they're just easier to eat and less of a big, huge chunk.
Yeah, and just when you are buying them in the store, just avoid the ones that have the soft spots because they're overripe. And so they're probably not going to last as long, or they're already going off. Yeah. Going off on their own with their orange pepper. They're going off with the orange pepper, exactly. That's right. So, yeah. And also cantaloupe, I mean, you can buy all the fruit frozen, which is awesome in the winter, and the smoothies. It's nice to have orange smoothies sometimes. Like sometimes we have the berry, it's a purple smoothie. It's like loaded, or a green smoothie. Or you can have like an orange smoothie and put mango and cantaloupe. That's the next one. Or peaches and nectarines.
Yeah.
So those are the other ones. Yeah. And they're so good. I mean, it's just important to get some sort of orange vegetable and fruit in our daily intake.
Yeah. You're saying the frozen ones. There seems to be way more frozen fruit, and vegetable options than there ever used to be. Like, it's a whole section now, and it's awesome, Yeah, it's great.
I know. And it's like inspiring us to actually just make our own frozen. So when we get it in the summer or in the season, cut it up and, put it on a cookie tray in the freezer so that they don't all clump together. And then you put it into some sort of a bag or whatever in the fridge, and you can make your own frozen fruit or vegetables. But it's so nice when those are available in the stores.
Oh yeah. I'm still using our blueberries and blackberries that we picked in the summer.
Yeah, and it's November.
I know, it's awesome.
I know. It's
so
like
this
good.
Taste of summer. It's great.
Oh, it's great. Especially, it's nice to what I do is I microwave the blackberries in the morning. Well, a little bit too much today. They kind of exploded.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, and then it's like syrupy jam. It's so good. And then you put them in the oatmeal, and it's it makes it like purple and it's just delicious.
I see. That's really smart. Because I put the frozen ones in my oatmeal and then I put the whole thing in the microwave and it takes forever. Oh, you're smart.
I guess we should make breakfast together sometime.
I guess so. I'm like,
We're always doing that
light bulbs are going
independently.
off as you're saying that. I'm like, why didn't I think of that? It makes so much sense.
Except I made a mess today because it kind of exploded.
Oh,
and
that's
there was
fine.
purple juice everywhere, but that's okay. I think we went over them all.
Really? Why don't you name them and I'll count?
Okay. Pumpkin,
Mm-hmm.
squash,
Mm-hmm.
sweet potato, yam,
Is that one or two?
That's one.
That's one. Okay.
orange cauliflower,
Uh-huh.
Swiss chard,
Uh-huh.
carrots,
Yeah.
orange pepper,
Uh-huh.
apricot,
Right.
cantaloupe,
Yeah.
mango,
Yeah.
nectarines,
We kind of
pe-
said that.
and peaches.
Oh, that's like 12.
Well,
that's a
nectarines and
lot.
peaches I put together, but
Okay,
they're
so
actually not
that's 11.
the same. But 11,
Yeah.
there we go. 11.
11. I don't know if I could name 11. I mean, you'd really have to think about it. But yeah, there's lots. Like when you asked me that the other day, I was like, I don't know if I can think of 5.
Well, you're not alone in that because when I do the nutrition tours at the grocery store with different groups, like sometimes teenagers in high school, sometimes elementary students, sometimes adults in different groups. Anyways, it's really tricky and it's good when we're in the produce section because they can actually look around and, it's not as hard of a quiz when they can actually lay their eyes on
True.
the different, sweet potato, yam, carrots.
It tells me that we're not eating them often enough.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
That is why my whole goal with this nutrition nuggets today is to increase your consumption of orange foods this week.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you do it once or twice, it'll become a habit, I hope, and then you'll start to use them more frequently and you'll have a better immune system and your skin will glow and your eyes will be more healthy for longer longevity. And
Yeah, that's all important stuff this time of year.
Exactly.
Vitamin C and disimmunity and all that.
and it's
moving
loaded
through the winter,
Mother
so.
Nature's multivitamin with, for so many important health effects.
Awesome. Well, that's really good information. I'm glad we discussed that today.
Yeah, let's go eat some squash for dinner.
Yeah, I mean, we better.
We've got
Better
about
practice
10
what
of
we-
them in the
Practice what we preach now.
we kept getting them in our food boxes the last couple months. So
Right on.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, don't forget to check out the website. There's, as I say every week, there's lots of information there, but there really is. And we add to that all the time. There's new stuff coming up, and we will be adding some other new and fun things in the near future too that we'll keep you posted on. So check that out. It's mywifethedietitian.com. You can email us your questions. Like we said, we love hearing from you guys. We love knowing we're on the right track. Love hearing your questions, comments, that sort of thing. So feel free to drop us a line. It's mywifetherd@gmail.com. You can also comment or reach us through our social media pages. We're on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Give us a like there as well. Subscribe. Give us a star, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, whatever you think is appropriate. And review. If that's something you're interested in doing, that's always welcome as well. Just write a few words and tell everyone what you think about us.
And the 5-star one, I just did that for another podcast today. And
I said to Sandra, you probably made their day.
yeah, it's awesome to see those. Yeah. And you just go up, there's like 3 dots, and then it says rate the show. And I always start from the right to the left with the stars, because otherwise, sometimes it ends up being like a 1-star and you wanted a 5-star and it's like a miss. I don't know, the thumb thing. It just goes, you just hit the 1 and then it ends up registering as 1-star. It's like, no, I didn't want to do
Exactly.
that.
And then that doesn't make their day. They're laying in bed at night going, wonder why they didn't like this show. What?
Right.
That one person. What
Yeah.
what did we do wrong?
You're so funny.
Is that it? Is that all we have to say?
Today?
I don't know, in general. Not in general. I mean, today. What do we always say? I think, check this out, check that out. Yeah, I think just go and be happy and eat orange stuff. And we'll be back next week with more fun and good advice and fun stories and just miscellaneous chatter.
And we're doing an interview on Friday with
Oh,
dietitian Samantha Holmgren
Oh.
on arthritis. And I know one of the things she'll say, anti-inflammatory diet, is orange foods.
oh, there you go. So you can get a jump start on that.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, have a great week, everyone, and we will see you. No, we won't. We will talk to you all next week.
Bye.
Thanks for joining us today on My Wife the Dietitian. If you like what you heard, don't be shy. Leave us a comment or review, and be sure to share our podcast with your friends. If you'd like to hear more, hit that subscribe button. You can also follow us on our social media pages for updates, episode trailers, and other odds and ends. For more info and links on what we discussed on today's episode, check the show notes. We'll be back next week with another informative and fun-filled episode.